Factors and multiples. Let's talk about the difference between factors and multiples. Let's start with factors. Factors are numbers that are multiplied together to get a product. Example, factors of 24 are 2 times 12 with a product of 24. So my factors are 12, 2. Multiples are all the products of a certain factor. For example, if I wanted to do the multiples of 8, I would skip count by 8. 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64, 72, 80, see if we can squeeze in here, 88, 96. These are the multiples of 8. Okay, let's practice some more factors. If you want to, try to list all of the factors before I get finished and kind of check your work when I give you a number. Let's go ahead and list factors. Let's start with 18. The way that I list factors is I always start with 1 because I know that 1 times itself is that number, and those are both factors. So when I look at this, I say 1, 18, and I leave space in the middle so that I can write all my other factors in. Now I may not fill up that space, but I leave that space so that I can if I need to. And I'm going to use my divisibility rules, and I'm going to think. I'm going to go to 2 now. Is 8 an even number? 8 is an even number, so that it is divisible by 2. That would be 2, 9. I'm going to go to 3. 1 plus 3 equals 9. So I know that it is divisible by 3 because 9 is divisible by 3. 3, 6. It is not divisible by 4 because 4 times 4 is 16. If I add 4 more, that's 20. It is not divisible by 5 because it does not end in 0 or 5. So that means that I just listed all of my factors. Did you get it right? Okay, let's try another one. This time, let's go with 21. All right, what do we start with? Very good, 1 and itself, so 1 and 21, because 1 and 21 are always factors. I'm going to use my divisibility rules again. 2 is not a factor of this, it is an odd number. 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, that means it is divisible by 3. So 3, 7, it is not divisible by 4, it is not divisible by 5, it is not divisible by 6, and that puts me all the way up to 7, so I'm done. My factors are 1, 3, 7, 21. Now, I want to do something called finding the greatest common factor, the GCF. Greatest common factor. I'm going to look at these numbers, 18 and 21, and I'm going to say, what is the greatest common factor? So common means, what do they have in common? What factors do they have in common? And greatest would be the most amount, the biggest amount. So I'm going to start at the end, one other side. They both have 1 in common. They do not have 2 in common. They both have 3 in common. I guess I should have circled that 1. And that is it. All they have in common is 3 and 1. Which one of those is the greatest? 3. Very good. So 3 is the greatest common factor. Try with me to find some multiples. Let's start with multiples of 3. Now remember that 3 is going to be one of my factors every time, and my product of 3 times whatever is going to be my multiples. And I'm going to start with 3 times 1, and I'm just going to skip count. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. So anytime I want to skip count, that's finding my multiples. All the numbers that are a product of 3 or whatever my number is. You try. I want you to list all of the factors of 36. Pause the video, and then when you get that done, check back with your answer. Alright, the factors of 36. What I'm going to start with is 1, 36. It is an even number, so 2 is a factor. 2, 18. 3 plus 6 equals 9, so 3 is a factor. 4 is a factor. I just kind of have to know that. 5 is not a factor. It does not end in 0 and 5. It is both a factor of both 2 and 3, so that means that 6 is a factor. And that is 6 times 6, and I only have to write it once, which completes my list. I've reached the most. So 7 and 8 are not factors. I have listed all my factors. Did you get it right? Now I want you to list the multiples of 4. So pause the video, try it, and then get back on, see if you get it right. Okay, so let's remember multiples are skip counting, so let's skip count. Starting with 4, because 4 times 1 is 4. The multiples are the products. 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. Now when I list multiples, I usually list 1 times itself all the way through 12 times whatever number I'm finding the multiples of. So 1 times 4 is 4, 12 times 4 is 48. That's listing the multiples. Did you get it right?